Hello, and welcome to the old boiler house. This was the campus of the James Pepper Distillery, and I think it was the largest distillery in the world from about 1932 to 1962. And we're in here because it's about to rain, so we decided we do have a roof on this part. So just a little introduction. My name is Chris Kelly. I'm one of the owners here. My wife and I, Terry Kelly, have been trying to restore historic places in Lexington for the last 25 years. This is obviously the largest project we've ever attempted, and we're still in process. So, we learned about this property. I was actually hanging out at a place called the Green Lantern, having a drink, and a friend of mine, Tony Higdon, said, "I want you to come look at a place. I'm going through divorce and need to buy a place to do my metal shop and art gallery." And he said, "I want to see what you think structurally, because my day job, I'm a structural engineer." So Tony and I came down, and he was looking at buying the piece of property where Ethereal and Middle Fork are. And he said, "What do you think structurally?" And I said, "It needs some maintenance, but it's built like a tank." And so he said, "Well, that's what I thought." And he said, "I'm looking at, buying this part." And he said, "But I think they'd sell the whole thing." So I kind of scratched my head, and we looked around. And so I called up Terry, and I said, "Let's go for a motorcycle ride." So we rode down here and toured her through it, and I mean, it was scary, to say the least. And I said, "What do you think?" She said, "I love it." And so she said, "Let me call my sister." So she called up Delina. Spencer lives in Austin, had invested with us on all our previous projects. And so we described it, and so sight unseen, Delina said, "All right, I guess I'm in." So that's kind of how we ended up buying the property. And so we had just planned on renting it out for storage until things developed. And we started getting approached by people wanting to do things. And our vision was it would be a shame not to embrace the bourbon industry and do something involved in that. So I had no idea, unfortunately, Amir, that James Pepper was still being made. I had heard that the brand died in the 60s. And so I had the crazy idea, maybe I'll find somebody that wants to make James Pepper bourbon again. So I got on the internet and started looking around, and I start seeing things about, well, wait a minute, maybe it's still being made. And so I Googled and found Georgetown Trading Company. So I found the information, clicked send an email. So I sent an email and said, introduced myself, said we purchased the old James Pepper Distillery in Lexington, and if you'd be interested in talking to me, give me a shout sometime. And I put my cell phone, I hit send, and I don't think it was 20 minutes. I got a call, and he said, "You're kidding me. You bought the old?" He said, "I looked at that years ago, but I didn't think anything was going to happen with it." So I found Amir, and we've been going back and forth for a while, and finally he decided to get crazy enough to try to make bourbon in here again. So anyway, that's kind of a little history of how we got here. And I didn't engineer that sign, just for the record. So. And I want to say thanks you all for coming and braving this impending storm, but I also want to say thanks to some people that were instrumental in the reason that we got here. And first, I want to thank Barry McNeese, because he had the original vision for this entire district. Another group is the guys from Barrel House, Jeff and Peter. You guys have been road warriors down here when there was nobody down here. And so you showed it can be done. And of course, Iron Horse Forge. Tony Higdon and Chris Casey just done an amazing job of the renovation where Ethereal and Middle Fork are. And my contractor, advisor, father, Virgil Kelly, who he's the reason we have a roof on here now. And Terry's parents, my in-laws, they have been supported from day one. If I need a chain or a trailer or whatever, they just bring it down here. So they've been great. And I don't know if he's here, but Van Meter Pettit was a big reason that we're down here. He's the one that pretty much got the Town Branch Trail going, and when Delina was wavering on whether we should do this, and when we told her the Town Branch Trail was coming through, she said, I'm in, because she lived in Dallas when they first did the hike and bike trail from Plano to Dallas, and it was just a huge boom for businesses and development all along the trail. So she knew this was really going to be a great place when that happened. So, and Jeff Fugate, where are you, Jeff? I mean, he has been supportive from day one. He came to House for Dinner to help woo Amir the first time he came to town, and so Jeff's been on our team from day one. And Derek Polson, he's been super supportive of anything we've tried to do. I don't know where Derek is, but and of course the best mayor, at least in my lifetime, if not ever, Jim Gray.
Thank you, man. That's my introduction. I appreciate that. Chris, you can go around with me everywhere. All right? Well, listen, it's good afternoon, everybody. You know, I want to say before, I've got some prepared remarks here, but I've been to a lot of groundbreakings. And I don't think I've ever been to a groundbreaking that had more people at it. This is a groundbreaking of an extraordinary, extraordinary project, and thank you all for being here. It is a great day. It's just a great day to be in the Distillery District in Lexington. It's an exciting announcement, has deep roots in our authentic history. The making of bourbons long fascinated Kentuckians, and the fascination continues with the recent creation of the Bourbon Trail. Chris mentioned the Town Branch Commons and the Town Branch Trail. We all know that Kentucky's distilleries have been welcoming thousands of visitors as they discover our history along the new trail. It's been fun to welcome them to our state. As everybody knows, distilling was a big part of Lexington industry in the 19th century. And although Lexington got out of the distillery business several decades ago, now it's making a comeback. The popularity of the Bourbon Trail has led to the rebirth of this historic industry right here in Fayette County. And that's what we're here to talk about. The rebirth of the James E. Pepper Distillery right here in the heart of Lexington. So this authentic history of ours is actually going to distill new jobs in the Distillery District, which has become such an important area of our city for economic growth and tourism downtown. The Georgetown Trading Company is here to honor and grow the James E. Pepper brand. Terry and Chris Kelly, Amir and Terry Peay, congratulations. Today is a real old-fashioned day for Lexington. So guys, thank you all so very, very much.
It is really a great pleasure to be here today with everybody. I mean, I almost got to just sit here and take it in for a second to look around and see everybody. This is a momentous day for the Pepper brand, and it's a day that I will remember for a long time, for the rest of my life. This has been a dream project for many years for us, and I first visited this site in 2008, so 8 years ago. And the transformation that has happened since then has been remarkable. Anybody who saw this site and walked through these buildings back then and sees where it is today knows what an amazing transformation has taken place. And even though we still have a lot of work left to do, I think everyone can now see the potential and what we can create here on this site, on this campus, and in this distillery district. And none of that would have been possible without the vision and the hard work of the developers that brought the site along and brought it to where it is today. Barry McNeese, not sure I've seen Barry here somewhere, but Barry had the vision to create a distillery district. There he is, Barry, good to see you again, down here, and that was quite a vision to have, and so I commend you for having that vision. Tony Higdon. Tony came down here, worked on the front portion of the building, moved very fast to bring it along and show everybody like, oh my God, look at what this can be for this part here. And of course, everybody else at Barrel House and the other tenants, everybody just moved quick and made something amazing happen here. And mostly, I want to thank for the developers, and who I've worked very closely with over the last year and a half, is Chris and Terry Kelly and Delana Spencer. We worked together very closely for a year and a half, and what they showed me, and what was amazing to me from the very beginning, is that they had a sincere passion and desire to not only restore the historic Pepper Distillery, but to bring the James E. Pepper brand back to the distillery. And for that, I'm extremely thankful. It was very humbling, and I want to thank all of you guys. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. I also want to thank the City of Lexington and the Mayor's office. From day one, they've had an open door, and they have said, Amir, what can we do to help you make this happen? Call us, visit us, email, whatever. We went over everything. It was an open door. It's been a lot of assistance given, a lot of help, and for that, I am very appreciative. So thank you, everybody, the city, the mayor's office. The businesses in the Pepper campus, as I touched on, it's amazing what they have done here. The businesses they've built are thriving, independent, local businesses that are garnering national press and accolades. You guys probably heard that Middle Fork was recently named to Open Table's top 100 hottest restaurants in the United States. I was on American Airlines a few weeks ago. I opened up the in-flight magazine. There's an article on Lexington, and there's 2 paragraphs in the James E. Pepper Distillery District. San Francisco Chronicle, Southern Living Magazine, on and on and on. And we're just at the tip of the iceberg. So I really want to commend all the businesses who have built what they've built here, the buzz they've generated, and I really look forward to coming down and being your neighbors and working together. So thank you, everybody. I have to thank the people of Lexington for making this such a cool city. This is really a special city, and there is a very cool culture for beer and food and art and just everything. And I travel a lot, so I know what I'm talking about. There is something special going on here. And for us to be able to come and do this project in a city like this, it just makes it so much more fun. So I'm very thankful, we're all thankful to be able to do this in Lexington, Kentucky. So thank you, Lexington. Thank you, people, for making this a cool city. I'd like to thank the team at my company, the Georgetown Trading Company, everybody for working hard. I'd really like to thank my father, Terry Peay, who has been my greatest mentor and advisor since I founded my company, and especially through this project. Thank you, Pops. I appreciate everything you've done. And I think the biggest thank you that I have, and I think that hopefully all of us have, is for the Colonel James E. Pepper, right? For giving us all such an amazing story to tell, to talk about, and great whiskey to drink as well, right? So I think we all owe the Colonel James E. Pepper a big thank you, right? And we intend to do the Colonel proud with the project that we build here and the distillery that we build here and the museum and the whiskey that we distill. And how we started on this project and how we're going to make him proud is, first of all, we've been doing extensive historical research and collecting of historic materials for over 8 years. And all of these things are going to be incorporated into the project and into the museum. So that's one way we're going to do it. Another way we're going to do that is that we're working with the best team of experts in Kentucky in the distilling industry. With us here today is Dave Shurick. Dave Shurick, master distiller. He was behind the renovation, reconstruction, operation, distillation at the historic Woodford Reserve for over 20 years. And as many of you may know, that was the original Pepper family distillery, founded by Elijah Pepper, the grandfather of James E. Pepper, and at one point owned by James E. Pepper himself. And so Dave is not only an expert in the history of the Pepper family, but he's an expert in making whiskey and all things distillery, and he's been advising us closely from the beginning and will continue to be a part of the project. Great to have you on board, Dave. Thank you. We're working with Joseph and Joseph Architects out of Louisville, Cash and Merrill Motor. They're the best. They've worked on the best distillery projects in the state. Pete Kamer couldn't be here. He's our lead engineer on this. But just a great team of experts. And they're such a great team, I used to jokingly call them the 96 Chicago Bulls. I was like, you're Jordan, you're Pippen, you're whatever. But as Terry pointed out to me, and is now more accurate, I call them the 96 Wildcats, right? And that's what that team is, right? That's what they are. Yeah, I don't know, that's it. So, we are going to do something special here. And we also have another very special guest here today, Brian Horstman Weidlich. Right, Brian? Okay, Weidlich, sorry. Come on. Brian's grandfather was the master distiller here from 1935 to 1965, right?
Yep, right.
So it's really special to have you here today with
Thank
us.
you. It's great to be here.
Yeah.
I have a lot of memories of running through here when I was about that tall.
Yeah. And I just met him this morning for the first time, but I spoke to him yesterday, so I'm excited to sit down, buy many meals, pick his brain. You know, we exchange hair care tips, all that kind of stuff. I think it's just a lot we can learn from each other and teach each other, right? And we have some other very cool things here today I wanted to share with you guys. Just a few of the historical materials we've accumulated over the years and that we're going to use for this project. Over here you can see this is one page from a set of 15 pages of detailed mechanical engineering drawings for the distillery that was built here in 1934, the year Prohibition was repealed in Kentucky. This is the actual still plate from Vendome Stills out of Louisville, also from 1934. The same plate is on the same still from those drawings right there. And here, this is a bottle of pre-Prohibition pepper whiskey. But this is a bottle of vintage pepper whiskey distilled here in 1947 by this man's grandfather. And so to commemorate the occasion, and I know we still have a grand opening, so we can't do too much, right? But that's mid to late 2017, so I hope everybody comes back for that. But to commemorate today, I'd like to invite a few special people up here to have a little toast and commemorate. All right, so. Sorry, I don't think we have enough to share with everybody. There's other treats, though.
Very modest amount.
Yeah, even for you, Mr. Mayor. I gotta, come on, guys,
Oh, it smells good.
Oh, yeah. We got one glass left.
Oh, that's okay. A little chip.
So I'll just say, well, everybody, real simple. Cheers. Here's to James E. Pepper and to Lexington, Kentucky. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you. Very good. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
It's very good, but I can't drink anymore.
Yeah, I mean it.
It'll give me too much to